When any of us walk outside and look up at the sky, our natural impression is that the sky looks like it's a vast and limitless expanse. Goes on forever. Actually, the atmosphere of the Earth is a very thin shell surrounding the planet. And of course, right now, we are putting 110 million tons of heat-trapping, global warming pollution into that space every single day. We're using this as an open sewer for all of the gaseous waste in our global civilization. Agriculture is a big cause of it, burning of forests and burning of cropland. But still, the main part of the problem is the emission of carbon dioxide from the burning of coal, oil, and gas. And that builds up heat energy and raises temperatures. India just set their all-time high temperature record in May, 123.8 degrees Fahrenheit. The streets are melting. We have built a civilization for conditions that we are now in the process of radically changing. All-time records have been broken this year in Thailand and in Cambodia and Laos. In Pakistan, over 1,200 people died in the heat wave there. This year, they have dug anticipatory mass graves for the people they fear will die in this year's heat waves. And we're seeing that the higher temperatures are shifting the balance between microbes and human beings. The transportation revolution has a lot to do with this, air travel, but the climate conditions have a big impact on that. Let's look at Zika. Here is the range of the one mosquito that they're most worried about, and warmer conditions increase that range considerably. But here is the kicker on this. It's not just the mosquito, it's the virus. And the warmer temperatures speed up the incubation rate inside the mosquito. So we get an explosion in the number of cases. And now it's spread to Miami, Florida. And for the first time in history, pregnant women have been advised not to go to part of the United States of America. In many areas of Central America and South America, the doctors are delivering a message that I've never heard in my life. They're telling women, don't get pregnant for 2 years while we try to get a handle on this. That's something new in the history of the human race. How long can we just sit back and say, oh, well, maybe some genius will think up some miracle? I'm sorry, I'm getting all fired up here. But let's step back and take a global view of the increasing temperatures and the extra heat energy. 93% of all this heat energy is going into the oceans. And it has several consequences. A direct consequence is that when ocean-based storms cross much warmer ocean waters, the storms get stronger and more destructive. Just a few years ago, Superstorm Sandy in the Atlantic crossed areas of the ocean 9 degrees Fahrenheit warmer than normal. And it caused tremendous destruction in New Jersey and in New York. And by the way, 10 years ago, when the movie An Inconvenient Truth came out, the single most criticized scene in that movie was an animated scene showing that the combination of sea level rise and storm surge would put the ocean water into the 9/11 memorial site, which was then under construction. And people said, that's ridiculous. What a terrible exaggeration.
Something happened last night at one of the most iconic locations in New York, the World Trade Center, Ground Zero. A flood of water with a current so strong, it flooded the reconstruction.
There is a wake-up call here, and that is climate change and our vulnerability to it. It was true 10 years ago, it was true 5 years ago, it is undeniable today.
Years before the scientists predicted that this would happen. 1 year later, in the Philippines, Super Typhoon Haiyan crossed areas of the Pacific 3 degrees Celsius warmer than normal, and it became the strongest and most destructive ocean-based storm ever to make landfall. In the city of Tacloban and nearby areas, there were 4.1 million climate refugees. Thousands of people were killed.